Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, feeling very nostalgic because nearly 3 years ago, my very first video, my first review, was of Shostakovich's 11th Symphony with John Storgards and the BBC Philharmonic on Chandos, a performance of no discernible merit whatsoever. It was boring. It was uninteresting. It was quotidien. It just was a total waste of time. Here's another one from the same forces. Yes, it's John Storgards and the BBC Philharmonic. They're back on Chandos with Shostakovich's 12th and 15th Symphonies. This guy has no feeling for Shostakovich at all. I mean, really none. It's kind of astonishing. I don't understand, with all of the competition that's out there in this music, why, Chandos is betting on this particular horse. Of course, it's been 3 years between releases, so maybe these are just one-off performances. Let's just hope it's not a cycle. I really hope not, because Chandos has wonderful Shostakovich from Nimi Järvi, and a couple others. They've got a really good 14th Symphony as well, and some other stuff like that. But boy, this is just not happening. Granted, the recording is very good. The sonics are powerful. There's nice throbbing bass and big splashy tam-tam swats and whatnot. And the orchestra doesn't play badly. But Storgards, he's just dull. I mean, it's all there is to it. He's way too careful, first of all. Let's take the 12th Symphony. Now, I understand some people think that the 12th is absolutely thrilling. And if you play it that way, it can be. I mean, but it's not Shostakovich's strongest work. The first movement, if this is going to work at all, has to come flying out of the gate in a heedless rush of total committed frenzy. This is so careful. I mean, it's studied. I mean, this is not studied music. This is music that if you take 2 seconds to think about it, it's not going to work at all. It's got to be just physical. It's got to hit you in the solar plexus, It should be a kidney punch or something. But boy, that doesn't happen here. Instead of that da 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 da, think of how Mravinsky does, or even Haitink with the Concertgebouw. I mean, there's got to be just frenzy. There's no frenzy, none. And the finale, oh God, the finale. I mean, the finale is a complete waste unless it's a blur. I mean, let's face it. The dawn of humanity? I mean, who are we kidding, right? Who was Shostakovich kidding? And he knew it. So that's not going to happen. Now, the 15th Symphony, a much deeper work and much more serious work in all respects. It's just a snooze. I mean, the first movement, for example, it doesn't have any of the necessary sort of sardonic snap to it. When the William Tell overture comes in, the trumpets have to sort of quack it out in this deadpan way, but you can barely hear them. There's no understanding, it seems to me, of the necessity to use accent and color to try and underline the music's message. The same is true of the scherzo. The first slow movement is a bore. The finale, well, it has spooky moments, of course. I mean, it can't not have its spooky moments. But the big climax of the Passacaglia, it just seems the balances are off between like the low brass and everything else. And then the coda, the tick-tock coda, it's just boring. It's boring, and the whole performance lacks clarity of line. I just don't get it. I don't understand why they are doing this music. I don't understand what the point is. I don't understand why you'd buy it. I don't understand why you'd care. I certainly didn't. So we're back to where we started nearly 3 years ago, with the same forces and the same music and the same problems. Nothing has changed. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you for joining me. Take care.